Melchior, could you fly this death trap a little less convulsively? I'm spilling ether everywhere.
It's the sky, Caspar. There's wind and clouds and various other elements. It's almost impossible to keep this thing steady.
Better than traveling on camels, though, wouldn't you say?
I suppose. This turbulence is making my... Blast! I cannot work under these preposterous conditions.
Well, then put your experiments away and come gaze at the sky with me.
We've been looking at the sky all night, Balthazar. It's a beautiful star, but I'm not completely convinced of its importance. Who is this king supposed to be?
Interesting question. I've been doing some research into the matter, and it turns out that the Jewish people have been expecting this king for a very long time.
Why is that?
Well, for centuries, the Jewish people were a divided people. Then, about 1,000 years ago, they united under a single monarch. His name was Saul. But Saul was not a good king. And so, their God anointed a new king to rule over them. And his name was David.
That was the boy that slew the giant with a sling.
The very same. And David was a good king, the symbol of all the monarchy should be. But it was not to last. Within 2 generations, the people divided again because of the wickedness of the kings that followed. Since then, the Jews have been oppressed by the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and most recently, the Romans.
An unlucky people.
To be sure. But they have not lost hope, for they believe one day their God will send them a new king, a king like David, who will overcome their oppressors, who will unite them again as a people, and who will usher in a new era of peace and prosperity.
Sounds like quite the sort of heroic gentleman to me. My sort of king.
Your sort of king would be
A gentleman and a scholar.
Quite right. For here, in the holy text of the Jewish people, the prophet Isaiah describes the king who is to come. Look, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. And of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end.
A kingdom that has no end? How is that even possible, Balthazar?
Perhaps he's the adventurer king we've all been waiting for, and he will lead us to the fountain of youth, everlasting life.
A distinct possibility, but one that is purely in the realm of conjecture at the moment. All we know is...
What's that?
It's that knave, Marius. They seem to have resorted to desperate measures. They've rammed our ship. Most excellent.
How in the world is that excellent?
It means he sees us as a threat. Now we have a real challenge. But unfortunately, the hit seems to have dislodged our fuel lines. We're spilling fuel everywhere.
Oh, what do we do?
I can reattach the line from this console, but without more fuel, we're not going anywhere. If I push the ship, we're as likely to crash as land.
We can't land. We have no time to lose.
Would the two of you be quiet? I'm thinking. Yes, one of these. Yes. Where is it? Where is it?
Oh.
I can't find it anywhere. I need something sulfurous.
Something sulfurous, you say?
Yes.
What? Would a rotten egg do the trick?
A rotten egg? Perhaps. The hydrogen sulfide from the globulin protein could in theory be a replacement for something more chemically pure. But where in these infertile skies are we going to find a rotten egg? I don't suppose either of you brought one.
You suppose wrong, my friend. You may doubt me, but I never travel unprepared.
Your automatic egg spoiler. We finally found a use for it.
Well, what do you mean, finally? There's always been a use of it. Now get me an egg.
Okay, now quick, put it in. Oh, perfect. Oh, now which way to the fuel tanks?
Go out the door, down the stairs, or to the left.
Hurry! We don't have much time.